At the end of July, DC is beginning to love Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Fans have found that Maureen Hendricks Field is the place to be to watch the best in the game. Today, over the shoulder, Emily Parros may have another no-look encounter with a goal. The same place Kylie Ohlmiller circled like a shark 5 times last night with Athletes Unlimited. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. The rank of captain goes a long way in this league. Today, a team led by Kayla Treanor is set to mix it up with a squad led by Dempsey Arsenault. We hit the 10-game mark with this contest, 10 of 30 between the top lacrosse athletes in the world. The rosters are changing weekly. The leaderboard is flip-flopping all the time, and we get to crown just one individual champ at the end of the run. Throughout the day, you'll notice we have plenty of mics on the players. Last night, Kaylee Waters gave her team new direction.
Okay, everyone's hands are in. All right, we're gonna stay together. All right, from here on out, we're all playing for each other. Yeah. All right, going hard. All right, together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Together! Let's go. Let's go.
So great to see you again, along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champ at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. Court, thankfully, you and I get to stay together throughout this entire Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse run, but what must it be like for the captains, Treanor and Arsenault, all of a sudden to be rivals again?
To go up against one another after playing with those teammates that you got to know so well can be difficult. You're going to have to change your game, elevate it a little bit, making sure that that teammate who you just had working hard for those 3 wins doesn't know everything that's in the tricks for
Team
you.
Treanor, they fell in a 1-goal decision, a thriller to Team Wood yesterday, but not for a lack of effort from Emily Parros, whose high energy is seen on the field and in the box score.
Emily Parros, she did a great job of changing her point of attack. She did it so easily, working behind the goal cage. That was all due to the zone defense that they were facing. She's a force in the midfield. She makes those hustle plays, not just scoring goals, but also winning ground balls and draw controls for her team.
Right there in the middle of that lineup, you won't miss number 5 throughout the day. Last evening was a perfect example of how quickly things can change in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There wasn't much happening, wasn't much cooking, and then all of a sudden it would be Kylie Ohlmiller making a 5-course meal out of it.
Kylie did an outstanding job of putting her team on her back, so to speak. She was a captain in week 1. Now it was time for her to step up and score for her team. She's a natural leader, very balanced offensively. She had 5 goals and 2 assists last night. She's great and tight when working close to that goal circle. Every time she earns possession of the ball, she had 5 ground balls in addition to 5 goals. It's more possession time for her team.
Kylie Ohlmiller, eye black and all, ready to validate that performance from an evening ago. Throughout the day, we're going to be keeping an eye on the leaderboard, Courtney. Players earn points in a variety of different ways, both individually and collectively as teammates. With respect to the team totals, it matters how many points, how many quarters, how many wins you rack up.
To come out with the game win, obviously, there's different quarters that you could lose to the opposing team. 20 points can add up very quickly. Obviously, the 45 points overall, but MVP points, super important, voted on by the players and the fans. Statistically, that's another way for you to get on the board, overall leaderboard.
It is a gorgeous afternoon for lacrosse at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex, about 30 miles north of Washington, D.C. We're settling in for Team Treanor against Team Arsenault. Game number 10 overall of 30 on the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse schedule.
Hey fans, we're now just 30 seconds until opening draw.
An evening ago, it was Team Treanor falling 12-11 to Team Wood. Earlier today, Kenzie Kent made Team Wood another winner in overtime, a dramatic finish, getting the better of Haley Warden's squad. If we follow the plan that we've established last week, we're going to be visiting with the players and eavesdropping on the goalie conversations. Let's go into the game first with Britt Reed. Britt, so many 1-goal decisions in this league. How nerve-wracking is it for a goalie?
Oh, it's awesome. That's why we play. These teams are really even this week, and it's so fun to have a competitive game. You know, the team with the most grit is going to come out on top.
Britt, thank you. From one Britt to another, Britt Brown will be on the sideline awaiting her chance. And Britt, can we count on you for a scouting report? What's the key for your defense?
Key for defense is going to be communication today. Communication all day long, making sure our slides are there, making sure we have each other's backs, coming up with some key stops, making sure we run through those ground balls and get the attack as much of the possession as they can to be able to convert and hopefully go home with a win.
Britt Brown, keep your ears on. We'll be checking in with you throughout the day.
Haha, let's go.
Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie, Patty Kletcha Porter, your officials. Team Treanor in the orange. And Team Arsenault in blue. First touch, 6-on-6 at this end of the field. We play Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse 10v10. There's 80 yards from goal to goal in this league. There's an 8-meter key. If you score from outside that 8-meter key, you'll earn 2 points for your team and 16 for yourself. Oldmiller rolling away from Little. Sets it up for the captain, Arsenault. She gets downhill on Peros off the sweep. Didn't get to the alley. Shot clock's at 23. Lindsay McCone fires. It's booted away by Reed. Every goalie save earns the keeper 6 points, as you can tell top of the screen. Every goal the goalie allows is a subtraction of 1 point from her totals.
Joe, with man-to-man defense, they're looking to see what matchups they like best. Moving the ball, seeing about isolation situations.
McMahon against Hirsch. Bring it outside. McCool fires. That's off the outside of the goal. And goose to Britt Reed. She'll start the clear for Team Treanor. Quickly played ahead to Peros. Peros lost it there at the top of the 8-meter key. Ground ball, you'll get 2 points, and you do so if you're Caroline Wakefield there. She tiptoes the sideline, hooking up with Kira Pelton, who played collegiately at Stanford.
Physical play is something we're going to see throughout the day. Most would have thought that would have been a push towards out of bounds. She was able to stay in, but no foul. There's more body-to-body, stick-to-body contact within Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse.
Team Treanor stays in that player-to-player defense. McMahon off the roll dodge. She'll make the flip for Sammy Joe. Tracy's pass returning to McMahon is too high, and it's a turnover. Turnovers are costly. -8 to the individual credited with a turnover on the overall leaderboard. Once we get through tomorrow's doubleheader, perhaps 4 new captains and definitely a draft of new teams Monday night that you can see on Facebook Live. Molly Stevens has it in her cross. On for Taylor Cummings. Taylor has been moving swiftly up the overall leaderboard. She swivels inside looking for fellow Terp Kelly McPartland there. McPartland in a foot race. She'll win that. Getting away from Wakefield. Shot clock's at 24. Trainor's first touch matched up with Meg Dowdy. That's a brilliant one-on-one matchup. Best on best, if you will. Treanor off the little rocker step. McPartland outside the 8-meter key, 8 seconds to shoot. McPartland on the flip. Cummings hesitates, feeds inside. The quick stick is yanked high by Molly Stevens. That's a shot clock violation. Just past the 3-minute mark in quarter number 1. We'll have you back for more Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse action right after these words. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Yesterday's games, a couple of one-point thrillers. Big smiles, plenty of emotion on weekend number 2 of 5 in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We're about to wade into game 10 with you. Still looking for the opening strike in this 10th game of 30. Our Geico leaderboard up to the minute with Kayla Wood and Katie Glynn residing on top. The goalie in second position.
Joe, I expect for Dempsey Arsenault, Kayla Treanor, they're just getting a chance to start to play this game. I expect them to move up, potentially passing spots 1 and 2. Those games were played earlier today. What's great about the leaderboard, no matter your position, there's ways to get on it. Obviously, individual statistics, MVP points, as well as quarter and overall game wins.
Our thanks to our presenting field partners at Geico for their assistance here at Maureen Hendricks Field, a complex that was built by Discovery Communications Chairman John Hendricks and his wife Maureen. The field named in her honor back in June of 2013. On a day when we've been recognizing women in sports, looking for the first strike of this game earlier today. Team Wood in overtime downing Haley Warden's squad, a game-winning goal from Kenzie Kent in the first ever overtime decision.
Obviously the score 0-0 at this point. Both teams plagued with turnovers.
Stevens back behind the cage. Katrina Dowd is next. Dowd's been back in the country for a couple of weeks now. She's been residing in Germany, stopping and starting. Wakefield does a good job with her as Dowd lost her footing there. Cummings sweeping from behind the cage. Great recovery by Arsenault. Wow, did she close out quickly defensively. Cummings, determination, gets to the goal, snapped it wide of Waters. Closest to the ball where and when it leaves the playing field on a shot, gets possession. It'll be awarded to Kayla Treanor with 20 seconds to shoot.
Anytime you're on an island defensively, you're wondering when that slide's gonna come, especially when you're up against Kayla Treanor.
Treanor fakes from down under, over the top there, and that's stabbed by Waters, who made it look easy. Kaylee Waters running for cover. Dowd is there to ride. Waters showing off her stick handling. For every save the goalie makes, she picks up 6 points on her leaderboard total. Floated along to McCone. McCone waits for the trailer. That's Dempsey Arsenault. This is her team that she drafted back on Monday.
As we look at this shot by Kayla Treanor, high to high. Super easy for a keeper to save. Kaylee Waters, one of the best in the world. She's a part of Team USA training team, expected to make the overall team that will be playing in World Championships next year.
Mom and Dad, Cappy and Artie, were divers, ACC divers. Appropriate when your last name is Waters, I would say. Closing in, McCool, trail check by Peros. Ball down, a hard hit there was taken by Sammy Jo Tracy. 13 in the blue. Becca Block repositions. Block, one of the top defenders in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. She was the first defender selected in Monday's draft.
Becca Block, so very strong, fast when clearing the ball. That physicality play that we're going to see a lot more of. Why that was called a foul is because she displaced the attacker. That is not allowed in this league. So rough play, yes. However, when the attacker is displaced, an immediate whistle will occur.
Athletes Unlimited launching athlete causes in partnership with the Give Lively Foundation. Let's hear Katie Hirsch's cause.
I'm Katie Hirsch, and I'm playing for the Surfrider Foundation. Their main goal and mission is to help protect oceans and beaches. So they do that through different initiatives like beach cleanups, campaigns, and creating different legislation to help protect our oceans and marine life. I just think it's, you know, our duty as humans and our obligation to preserve the planet and preserve nature. So as much as I can do that and help out, I'm very passionate about that cause.
Athlete causes, allowing players to play their season in part for the benefit of the nonprofit organization of their choice. At the end of the year, Give Lively Foundation makes a grant equal to 50% of the athlete's end of season bonus to their nonprofit partner. And Katie Hirsch, whose fiance's name, Courtney, is April. They're living in Brooklyn. They're loving their waterfront neighborhood. Job well done for Katie with her cause. Fans, if you want to get even closer to the game, join the Unlimited Club for free by downloading the Athletes Unlimited app today. You'll receive all the latest news and updates in the palm of your hand. Stream digital games, unlock special access, and more. If you're looking for more than that, upgrade your membership for a whole year behind-the-scenes access. All Athletes Unlimited seasons. Join the players in voting for game MVPs and the end-of-season awards. Visit auprosports.com to learn more about the Unlimited Club and make your Geico Unlimited pick. No score in this game. Individually, just between these two teams on the leaderboard, these are the top 5 participants.
Dempsey Arsenault, Kayla Treanor. No surprise to see any of these midfielders or attackers leading. And then you have Britt Reed, a goalkeeper, rounding it out at number 5.
Sammy Jo Tracy tries the 2. Didn't get all of the mustard on that. On the clear, moving it ahead, it's Sydney Parecka. Sydney wears 44. Her sister Shayna wears 41. It's the first time the sisters have ever played against each other. Dowd waiting for the flip as we've gone nearly 7 minutes without a point on the board. Cummings wants to change that here. She fired it wide, missed it on the short side. The backup for Stevens. Dowd giving the traffic directions, the instructions here as she tries to work against Wakefield. Wakefield with great determination defensively. Feet are always moving. She's always in good position. Treanor isolating against McCool. Off the roll. Here comes the help from Dowdy. Parecka fires and scores! Sydney Parecka.
What I love about this goal is the clock is winding down. There's just 60 seconds that each team has to score, but managing the clock is oh so important offensively. Making sure you challenge at the right time, your head is up. Ball movement, so very important. We see as Kayla Treanor right here draws the double team. That means that somebody's going to be open. That's Syracuse to Syracuse. Obviously, Kayla Treanor, the newly announced head coach at Syracuse, passing it to her assistant coach, Sydney Parecka. Nice little bobbing and weaving. Drawing the double was key in this, creating that open lane for Sydney to be able to pop out, catch that ball, all in transition, turning and firing at the goal cage.
Sydney Parecka on the board. That may be a 2-point tally. If you score from beyond the 8-meter key, they give you 2 points. You cannot have a foot on the line, however. The table official today is Patty Kletcher-Porter.
She's in, so it's a 1 point.
So it's a 1-pointer.
Yeah.
Inside that 8-meter key, so as it's been judged, a 1-point goal.
Okay, after the review of the play, the orange player's foot was within the key, so therefore it's a 1 point, not a 2 point. Okay, so we will start back at center.
Sydney Parecka and her mates, careful with their nutrition. Sydney is always very health conscious in that regard. Big East Midfielder of the Year back during her days with the Gators at the University of Florida. She strikes first, and that's the lead for Team Treanor should they hang on to it. Of course, everybody on their squad will receive 20 points.
This next look, we see Sydney, as soon as she's catching that ball, she's a power shooter. But we see that her feet were inside of that 8-meter line. She's a power dodger as well as a power shooter. She's catching, winding up here. We see her getting that stick up and away from her body. The more power she has getting away from her creates a bigger snap, a push-pull motion and follow-through. She's finally able to get a team on the board. Team Treanor up at 1-0 in this first quarter.
That's Courtney Martinez-Connor. I'm Joe Beninati. Tip of the cap to all the men and women in our technical crew. Great job by them all day. And in recent weeks with us for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, making us look great. Just shy of the 7-minute mark before that tally for Pareca. Just 1 assist last weekend for Sydney, relatively low scoring as Meg Dowdy will bring it across. Dowdy was a captain last weekend. We could very well have 4 new captains for Monday night's draft. The roster's ever changing in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Each of these teams is unique. It's likely you're never going to see them together again after these 3 games per weekend. 34 seconds left. Arsenault takes it, works around a screen set by McCool. Marie McCool, one of the top individuals from a stat point standpoint. She rattles it around off the inside of the frame. Loose ball comes up for McCone. 13 seconds to operate. Shot clock's turned off. She's swarmed there by the Treanor defense. McMahon fires. That's wide to Britt Reed. Becca Block was stung by that shot. She sent it back to the circle. That's going to do it for the opening 8 minutes of play. Low scoring and tight knit. It's a first quarter win for Team Treanor in orange.
Watch me. That word is not in my vocabulary. Welcome to my mentality, where I will show you freedom, recognition, for every athlete, every woman, for my team, for me. Say my name because I am the best at what I do. The All-American, the Olympian. My craft is my free expression, where I compete to win. I stand for racial equality, gender equality, income equality, as a guaranteed, tangible reality. Welcome to where I play, where I am free.
These athletes proving nothing is impossible on a lacrosse field. Team Treanor has the 1-0 advantage after 8 minutes of work. Sydney Pareca, the lone goal, so 20 points on the leaderboard for everybody who wears orange. Fans, you can own a piece of Athletes Unlimited history with the first ever Topps trading card set for professional women's lacrosse. The limited edition sets They feature all the athletes plus additional cards about the league and randomly inserted serial numbered parallels, including player autographs and Nike golden tickets. Sets are available to purchase now through August 27th at Topps.com, TOPPS.com. It's the only opportunity to get yours today. Courtney, look back to the way we finished up the opening quarter. This was awfully close to being a goal.
Nice little maneuvers there. Kayla Treanor finding Sydney Pareka. This was actually the goal, the one goal. However, her foot was inside. That's what made it not account for 2 points, just 1 point. Very smart of Team Arsenault to look at that and ask whether or not it was a 2-pointer or a 1.
Sorry to give you a little misdirection there. There was a chance that rattled around the goal frame late in the opening quarter. It was not challenged. It was a 1-0 score after 8 minutes. Dempsey Arsenault's team coughing it up twice and not able to put a point on the board just yet. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, the only league driven entirely by the athletes. This is week 2.
Okay, good. Ready?
Cummings pops the draw right to herself, as was her custom so often during her days nearby in College Park, Maryland, when she was a top Terp.
We see, unlike many other draw takers, she keeps that stick in hand. She takes the draw with it, she plays with it. Other people choosing to have a different stick, a little bit different stringing to give them more of an advantage, but she's so dominant with that gate stick that she chooses to keep it the entire time.
Picks up the ground ball there, give her another 2 points. Swing it for Treanor with 28 seconds to shoot. On the shot clock, top of the screen, you're seeing how the players can add up individual points. Kayla Treanor, who started this weekend as the leading goal scorer in Athletes Unlimited. She had 10 last weekend. That pass was down in the dirt. It's a turnover. Treanor, who had a goal and an assist yesterday against Team Wood in the losing effort. Team Treanor gets Haley Warden's squad in the doubleheader game tomorrow. Sammy Jo Tracy, she's been a highlight reel in the first 10 games of Athletes Unlimited. Off the split, bounce shot, kick save by Britt Reed. She went to the splits. On the end line, it's checked away from Tracy, and possession belongs to Katrina Geiger. Geiger finding Becca Block. Block, a former National Defender of the Year at Syracuse.
I love watching Becca Block run in the open field. Her speed was actually clocked when she was at Syracuse. In her cleats, she and her twin sister decided, let's see how fast we can go against our track and field athletes.
Waters made a good save there. Back comes Dempsey Arsenault's side. McCone tiptoeing around the 8-meter key. She lost the ball. Counterattack and a possible fast break now for Team Treanor. Gliding along, it's McPartland. Feeds it inside. Waters slammed the door. Made an excellent save there on Peros. Back we go. Numbers advantage McCone. 4-on-3. She pulls out. Great job by Trainor's team to get back defensively into the hole.
As we look at the save on the left-hand side of your screen, a lot of fast break moments happening back and forth throughout the field.
Arsenault picks the top corner. Dempsey Arsenault tying the game.
I was just about to talk about how the midfielders needed a little bit of a break, but Dempsey Arsenault is one of those midfielders, obviously captain for her team right now. Decides when to push, when to slow things down. The ball was in her stick. She was feeling confident with her one-on-one matchup. You see her taking it down that left alley. When you have a step on your defender, perfect time to challenge to goal and even up the score.
The kids are having fun today at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. Tickets were for sale. Fans have been enjoying Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, and we are 1-1 in the score right now. Fans, it's time to earn your points for watching today's broadcast. Take out your phone, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You can earn points. If you don't have the Athletes Unlimited app, head over to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Start earning points to unlock exclusive rewards and stay in the know about all things Athletes Unlimited. Emily Perros had the huge game last night. 3 goals, 3 assists. She feeds for Katrina Dowd. Dowd spins back, throws one behind her back. She may have been stepped on there. She was hobbling a bit as Kaylee Waters takes it over in the goal circle for Arsenault's team. The lengthy clearing pass is right on the button for Meg Dowdy. Dowdy, the daughter of Douglas and Deborah. She has a couple of brothers. We've played a lot of the early games of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in front of friends and family and special guests. Kylie Oldmiller had a special performance yesterday. 5 goals and 2 assists. Block treating her rudely there with a shove, knocking her down. Foul against Becca Block. 24 seconds left in the shot clock. Oldmiller with her face decorated in the eye black. Something that's been emulated by the next generation younger lacrosse players as you see things shape up now in front of Britt Reed. The officials get everybody in line. Oldmiller fires and Reed took the angle away nicely. Britt Reed gets 6 points for that save. She's badgered along the end line, shoved out of bounds by McMahon. Restart, Reed's out of the goal. She's just now getting back to the circle, no harm done. This is off of Sammy Joe's foot. It'll be Taylor Cummings taking it in off the end line in a 1-1 game. Halfway through the second quarter.
Joe, it has been an absolute defensive battle. Defense working hard in their man-to-man matchup. Sticks her up. That's how they were able to deter that 1v no goalie. Excellent job. We see quick feet moving, communication, all very important when playing man-to-man defense.
Temperatures in the high 70s, low 80s as Sydney Pareca turns. She has the lone goal for Team Treanor. Arsenault has the tally for her side. Cummings off the hesitation finds Katrina Dowd. Dowd gets topside, measured well though by Wakefield. Cummings turns inside, score! Taylor Cummings.
Taylor Cummings does a great job of using her size as well as feeling where that defensive player is on her. Cummings wearing number 27 in orange. We see that tough defense, but she was able to turn the corner. No defender who was sliding put a body on her. They went for that stick right there, so that clears a lane for her. When a sliding defender comes, you gotta put a body on.
Courtney, when she's that close to the cage, she turns into a sledgehammer.
She's tough to stop. She's strong. She's physical herself offensively. When she has pressure applied to her, she's giving it right back, leaning in, giving herself as much space as possible in order to take the best shot.
11 goals on the season. For each one, she gets a +12 on her leaderboard total, which continues to climb, and she's among the top 5 in the overall standings. There she gets back and forces a turnover. Makes the strip and brings it ahead for McPartland. Kelly McPartland cruising right down the lane. That pass a little high for Stevens. Wakefield with some get up and go the other way. The former Carolina Tar Heel stretching her legs now. Wakefield burrowing her way through, shovels and scores! End to end, coast to coast.
Love to see the speed and athleticism by Caroline Wakefield for Team Arsenault. She's a defender. This is the 3rd defensive goal that we have seen. If you do not honor the defensive players, they will take it into goal. showing her speed, her quickness. If this doesn't show you how physical this game is and how strong these players are, what I love is that quick little pull from the sliding defender. She got it to her weak side for an offside power shot. Right here, she pulls it. Getting away from that defensive player, her stick, nice and easy.
Courtney, you're an outstanding former player. You're a coach. You know the game inside and out. Look at that, running through the check, breaking the stick of Pareka on the way to the cage. When do you decide to switch a player from offense to defense? In Wakefield's case, when she was in high school, she scored 81 goals her senior year. Why is she playing defense?
Oftentimes, many of these defenders began as midfielders in high school, got pushed back in college. They still have it in them. It's memory. It's body memory, brain memory. You don't forget how to do these things.
All 9 of her goals in college were scored in one single season back in 2017. She just scored her first goal as a pro. Caroline Wakefield leveling the count at 2 apiece. In this quarter, Team Arsenault has a 2-1 lead, trying to win the 20 points that are available for everybody on the side for winning the 8-minute mark. Caroline Wakefield with a thing of beauty, as her point totals are closing in on 500. Team Arsenault will play tomorrow in Game 1 against Team Wood. Folks, you can join us at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex on game days. Tickets are still available for select dates. Check it out at auprosports.com/tickets/lacrosse. Low scoring late in the opening half. Fans bathe in sunshine today. Better have the sunscreen going. Thankfully, it's nowhere near as humid as it's been as we look at the Athletes Unlimited in-game leaderboard just between these two sides.
Dempsey Arsenault, obviously we see her all over the field doing work on the defensive end as well as the offensive. Taylor Cummings, the same thing, but Kayla Treanor, she's a captain for her team wearing orange. She's involved all over the field, sometimes even taking the draw control, which we saw last night.
Every moment counts. It's a compressed, energetic, exciting season. The ball belongs to Taylor Cummings. Late in this opening half of play, Katrina Dowd measured by Wakefield, who just made it a 2-2 score. Cummings and Pareka for Team Treanor, Arsenault and Wakefield for Team Arsenault. We have not heard much from Kayla Treanor, who loses Dowdy off of a beautiful split dodge move. Treanor fidgets to the interior with determination. She gets that one-handed cradle going. That's really good defense against one of the best offensive players in the world. Peros, roll back. Peros stuffed out by Waters. Waters' game is razor sharp today. On the sideline acrobatically, Wakefield did not keep that in. Shot clock reset. So it's 55 seconds for Cummings. 1:47 in the half. Taylor burrowing away in. McPartland fires a sizzler to score. Kelly McPartland.
Kelly McPartland, very fast player, quality shooter. She's attempted a few two-point shots in previous games. We see teammate Taylor Cummings, a former Terp, seeing that she has her teammate popping out as soon as her defensive player left. McCone went to go double that ball. She popped out asking for the ball. That's very important to do. You want to be an outlet, but once you're an outlet and you see that no second slide is coming, you have time, room, and space, absolutely take that shot, especially with someone who has a hard shot like Kelly McPartland.
Plenty of cheers from the sideline. Kelly McPartland and her mates about 100 seconds away from some possible nourishment. We asked the players about their eating habits, and McPartland was pretty honest. She described herself as a 28-year-old who eats like a 5-year-old.
I'm sure now that she's the head coach at Wagner, she's going to want her players not eating how she does. Do as I say, not as I do.
Correct. Final 90 seconds of the half. Dowd having some issues on the sideline there. Wakefield comes up with a ground ball. Give her another 2 points for that. as Kira Pelton tries to exit the defensive half. Pelton, who said she burned out of soccer in her younger days, was so glad to find a lacrosse stick in her future. Ohlmiller has block hung up as we hit 1 minute to go in the half. The score in the second quarter is even at 2 apiece. If it stays that way, those 20 points will carry over. The third quarter will then be worth 40. Ohlmiller sets up shop. Wheels in on Block, who shoves her away. Shot clock at 18. McCool getting to her strong hand. Floats it back. Great defense from Team Treanor there. McPartland doing the job. Blocks on the run. 30 seconds to operate. 3-2 for the team in orange. And now going for the quarter win should they pot one here. Peros and Cummings up top. Taylor will take it for a ride against McCool. Rolling back. Cummings inside. Knocked away. Waters stepped out aggressively. 5 seconds in the half. Waters running for cover. And this opening half comes to its end. 3-2 for Team Treanor.
And at the end of the second quarter, our score.
Joe, we've seen a tremendous defensive battle in this first half. Both teams sending quick doubles, especially when Taylor Cummings, Kayla Treanor, Marie McCool, Dempsey Arsenault. Each of these defensive teams are set and ready. They know what they're doing. They want to make sure that they're not leaving any one of their teammates on an island, sending those quick doubles. Great communication.
2-2 in the second quarter. Those quarter points carry over to the third. The third will be worth 40 when we restart. Kelly McPartland's given her team the 3-2 advantage. You know how we do. Back and forth we go today in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. A 3-2 lead for Team Treanor. Kelly McPartland's late goal giving her squad in the orange the advantage. And as we are enjoying play between these two teams and watching Shayna and Sydney Pareca work against each other. All the players and athletes in limited lacrosse are ultra competitive. That goes double when it comes to the Pareca sisters. Their sibling rivalry began in gymnastics.
We actually started, my sister and I, started really young. We were in a competitive gym probably from kindergarten or first grade.
My sister and I both were gymnasts. We got into a very competitive high-level gym, and at the age of maybe 7 or 8, 4th grade, 3rd grade, we were already going to practice before elementary school and after school, 2-a-days in the summer.
It was a lot, and it took a lot of time, but I think it taught me and my sister a lot about, you know, hard work, dedication, work ethic, sacrificing to be the best version of yourself.
It definitely helped because that's really kind of all I know in the sense of how to prepare and what I need to do in order to succeed, and ultimately that's doing the extra work, you know, putting in the time and effort.
And I think that's carried over a lot onto the lacrosse field. I think the biggest difference for my sister and I, we were on the same team, but we were competing against each other. So it was very lonely at times. And I think when we started lacrosse at a later age than most people, we really appreciated the team aspect, you know, people that have your back.
I have 20 other teammates that can help me succeed, you know, to win was relieving and so enjoyable compared to like the pressure of being by myself.
Me and my sister have never played on a different team. We've always been on the same team. We've always been playing together through high school, through college, even in the Pro League. We've always played on the same team. So I think this is the first time that we really are gonna play against each other.
We're super, super competitive. Yeah, it'll be a fight. I think we always go head to head. We have been since we were younger. We've been on every team together, but it's like a good competitiveness because we make each other better. But yeah, there'll be some fire and ice out there between us for sure.
Please don't ask me to do the backhand spring. That's just not happening. Shayna and Sydney Pareca for the first time ever playing against each other. Orange and blue, Treanor and Arsenault. We are at the halftime break, and it was Sydney Pareca who started the scoring today as she gets some refreshments. We're enjoying Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Get you back in just a few moments for more highlights. Players are putting their feet up in between quarters 2 and 3. We're at the halftime break, 16 minutes done. Team Treanor has the 3-2 advantage thanks to a goal from McPartland late in quarter 2. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. And Courtney, it's a defensive struggle. What are the defenders doing especially well in this game?
They're moving well, they're communicating, they're like on a string. Once one defender moves, the next one goes with her, and that's what's so important, so that way they're not able to attack with that second slide or the third. They literally have to do skip passes in order to beat it.
Seems like both teams are fresh. The temperatures are in the low 80s. It's a comfortable day, not very humid. So you would imagine a bit more highlights than the ones we are going to show you, but we'll get things started by scoring review with Sydney Pareca.
Kayla Treanor drawing a double team, so very smart, has her eyes up. Whenever there's a double team, somebody is wide open. However, Dempsey Arsenault and her team had the answer. That nice little left alley dodge. When there's man-to-man defense, there's gonna be mismatches. When you see it, you need to take it.
She shot that into a teacup. She didn't have a lot of room there.
Taylor Cummings doing what she does well, using her size. Her defensive prowess is great, but it's her offensive ability to score goals. Look at this, coast to coast by Caroline Wakefield, applying the pressure, running through it, and still scoring a goal, despite that stick breaking against her body.
You cover that much ground, you deserve to get the goal. McPartland, the late strike in the second quarter of which we speak, which gives Team Treanor the lead. As we share some more numbers with you, breaking things down through 2 quarters. Shots on level and draws almost level. Things are so tight, it should be a 3-2 game.
It's super close. Both of these teams are battling it out. I have to give credit to the captains. They did a great job after week 1, figuring out who's going to work well together. And they selected very even teams. Every single game we've seen a battle. Tie, 1 goal, nobody running off too much.
On the Geico leaderboard, you add points to your total individually by winning team quarters, by winning games, and by earning MVP votes. And when you add it all up for now, still, it's Kayla Wood on top.
Kayla Wood and Katie Glynn have done a great job. They've obviously already played today, so that's why they're leading. They have 4 wins in their belt, make it 5. Dempsey Arsenault, Taylor Cummings, Kayla Treanor, Kylie O'Mill, they're all still playing. They have the opportunity to move up in the leaderboard, not just with their individual statistical counts. However, each quarter, each overtime win, maybe we could have our first little 3v3 battling it out behind that 8-meter key.
Teams are stretching out, limbering up. Kylie O'Miller's in a really good mood. Families enjoying the play of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Britt Brown's been watching Kaylee Waters perform admirably in the cage today for Team Arsenault. It's a low-scoring affair, 3-2 after just 2 quarters worth of work in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Our players have been asked to talk about self-belief, a time of reflection, and how it affected their career. Let's listen in on Britt.
I've always had a chip on my shoulder. Whether or not that's healthy or not, I'm not a medical professional, so don't ask me. But I've always had people telling me I can't get something because of X, Y, and Z. I was always normally the least affluent in my class, as well as normally one of the only BIPAC individuals in my class. I felt completely isolated during a lot of my education due to that fact. You know, I was wearing the same jeans every day. I was wearing the same shoes. I didn't have a house in the Hamptons like the rest of my peers. I didn't have, you know, season tickets to the Knicks sitting next to Spike Lee. And so for me, I've always had that chip of like proving to people like I am gonna do this, and like no matter what you said to me or what you said about me or like calling me the fat kid or whatever, like I'm going to get there and I'm gonna do it faster than you and I'm gonna be better than you and you just watch. And for me, a lot of the stuff that I've said I'm gonna do, I have done. I own my condo, I own my car. Almost all my student loans are paid off. I don't know any of my peers that could do that without like mom and dad's trust fund helping them. It means no matter what pain I'm going through, emotionally or physically, I need to figure it out. I need to find a way within me to get through it because no one else is gonna help me. And I think I've done that in my career. I was already promoted early. I advocate for myself, and because I know no one else is gonna advocate for me. And I think everyone should know that out there. You are your biggest hero, you are your biggest advocate, you are your biggest champion. And if you don't walk into any room like that, I personally don't think anyone's really gonna take you seriously. If you can't take yourself seriously, who's gonna take you seriously? You're going inside out? Is that what you did? Did you do inside out?
You want one? I did that, yeah.
Oh, no, actually, let's get them going because we don't have enough time. It's fine. Here we go. And also, too, we're going when she's looking at the goal. Yeah. What we're not doing is, what's great is that we're not going because sometimes she actually is not looking at the goal. Sometimes she's actually backpedaling on purpose with this one hand to make a slide come because she's ready for the pass. But we're only sliding when we're actually looking at the goal. So like that, it's very smart defense. Dude, we're just talking D right now.
I love it. Yeah. I know. I want you in. Dude, I know you want into like halftime.
Dude, you know, I know. I want to go in, but like you're on fire, dude.
Bright young athlete, bright young person. Britt Brown, Believe You Will, presented by Guaranteed Rate as she remains on the sidelines, knowing that Kaylee Waters has the hot hand. And she will sit second chair to Kaylee, but Britt knows that she wants to get in there. Courtney, she said it to us. She said, I say what I believe. If I say it for a reason. And she's so easy to root for.
Listen, Britt provides a great atmosphere with her teammates. She speaks the truth. She's honest. She said one thing that her friends would say about her, she always speaks the truth, and she's calculated about it. She's telling you for specific reasons. So when she's talking about defense, Team Arsenault is listening in.
She's playing professional lacrosse. She's a bond trader with Wells Fargo. And oh, by the way, she really likes to build Legos. Dow turns, Katrina stuffed out. Tremendous crossover save there by Kaylee Waters. Starts the clear with Meg Dowdy. A 3-2 lead for Team Treanor in the orange, Team Arsenault in blue. Dempsey chose this squad via Monday's draft.
Joe, we're continuing on with this defensive battle. I almost feel like Kaylee, we talked about it last night, that she baits those attackers. It's like she dropped low in order to explode up high for that save.
Her quickness is remarkable, Courtney. She's not, like you said, she's not the biggest keeper in this league. She sure does make it difficult for you to beat her. McCool off the split. McCool's pass, well read. Britt Reed intercepting that. Floats it on target. Cummings has the 4-on-3 fast break. Cummings closes, feeds, Hench. One more for Dowd that was low. Perros trailing the play, keeps it alive. 45 seconds on the shot clock.
Great job of recovery defense by Team Arsenault. Team Treanor immediately in that four-man box for the 4v3, but a defensive battle continues on.
Perros telegraphed that pass. McCone picked it off. Now McCool closes in. McCool off the face dodge, off the frame of the goal. She had Reed beat. The rebound belongs to Team Arsenault with a fresh 60-second shot clock. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. This is game 10 of 30 in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Presented by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Arsenault feeds for last night's hero, Kylie Ohlmiller, who had 5 and 2. That'll add up quickly on the leaderboard. Ohlmiller stings the corner.
Kylie Ohlmiller did so much for her team last night. A natural lefty on the field. We see her taking it, sweeping across the top, almost wanting to turn that corner, but it's that little slip defensively by her defender, Becca Block, that opened up the lane. As soon as she sees the slide right here, she immediately rolls back. Her hands are free. Whenever your hands are free, you're able to turn that corner, take a closer dodge to cage right here where you see that step, the slip, and she immediately turns back. Very smart heads-up play by Kylie Ohlmiller. She does a great job in tight, super shifty. That little defensive miscue opened up opportunity for Team Arsenault.
Making life miserable on Becca Block was Kylie Ohlmiller. Ohlmiller, 3 times a captain at Stony Brook. She led the nation in points in 2018. Off this draw control, Cummings fighting for it along with Arsenault. McCone took a rough bump and now she stays down. Doubled over, just now getting back to her feet. Ball passed out of bounds, and Lindsay McCone is still in need of some attention as she's jogging back towards the offensive end of the field, clutching at her side.
As we're live in action, I've had the opportunity to talk with players right there. So that's definitely a displacing on the field. That's a foul that players are looking to be called. More physicality due to more strength, bigger speed, I get it. But definitely still need to keep the players safe on the field. Not a lot of whistles, which is good. However, when a defender is displacing an attacker, gotta make sure to blow that whistle.
Sydney Pareca sent one high. Waters sprints to the end line. She earns the ball for Team Arsenault. We will return to the live action in a moment. Kayla Treanor's been quiet so far. Just a 3-3 game on the scoreboard with 4:41 to go in the third quarter. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, game number 10 on the season. We shout out thanks to our presenting field partners, the good people at Geico, for all their efforts. Appreciate their generous support. As we carry right along in the third quarter, last player to strike, Courtney, was this player, Kylie Ohlmiller.
Kylie O'Miller did a great job last night scoring 5 goals. As we look at her coming around the top, she was starting to pull out, maybe feed the ball, but as soon as she saw that little slip by her defensive player, that opened up a lane for a quick rollback, cutting off that defensive player who was trying to regain their ground after the slip. Very smart heads-up play by Kylie O'Miller.
Very impressive resume you see on the screen. Courtney, these two teams were involved in much more high-scoring games yesterday. How have they improved their D today?
You know, they both have different defensive looks. We're seeing a lot of man. Man creates isolations, different matchups that you may want to see. We're definitely seeing less assisted goals today. I know there's only been 6, however, just about every goal last night in both games, both teams playing zone defense, allowed for a lot of assist from the zone defense. Zones create a lot of cutting. This is a lot of one-on-one situations.
McCool off the split dodge. Marie McCool, who began the weekend as the best when it comes to stat points. Long-range scorcher from Shayna Pareka. She loves her left, and she proved it right there. Answering the strike from her sister from back in the opening quarter.
Shayna Pareka, this could be a 2-point goal. As we take a look, we're gonna see if her feet are on that line. It all starts with Marie McCool protecting around those defensive sticks and catching her defense off guard right there. She caught the ball, is turning the corner quickly, and it's a quick release. Not every player's set. They're waiting for her to take it a little bit closer, which is how she was able to squeak this one in. Arms free, quick release, and she definitely has a 2-pointer on this one.
Snapping that past Britt Reed and then into the waiting arms of her teammates. That gives Team Arsenault a 3-0 advantage in this third quarter alone. And remember, this third quarter is huge because the scoring in the second was even at 2 apiece. So this third quarter is worth 40 by itself. You win the game, you get 45. You win this third quarter, everybody on your roster will pick up 40 points on their leaderboard totals. Shayna Pareka, who scored against Team Dowdy last week. First time she's ever squared off against her sister. And both sisters are on the score sheet. Marie McCool gets to the elbow. Little's waiting for her. O'Miller around the pick. Kylie waiting for a passing lane to open. There's McCone. McCone beat the check of Peros. Gets inside but snapped it wide. Clearing time for Team Treanor. And the captain, we mentioned it a couple of times, has been quiet by Kayla Treanor standards. She's due for a good offensive touch this trip, perhaps. Sydney Pareka powers her way in. Pareka off the roll dodge. Finds the open man. Stevens! Top shelf.
In order to create offensively, you have to dodge. You need to try and create situations where you get the defense moving and sliding. This was a fast break goal. We haven't seen many of them. Sydney Pareka challenging in, rolling back, finding her teammate on that slow break. Excellent vision, cutting and a quick release, all in one. Anytime you can catch the defense not prepared, not set, which often happens in fast and slow break situations. Again, we take another look. Sydney Pareka, a nice quick rollback. They were expecting her to go to goal. She's a top dodger, but her eyes were up. She saw a streaking Molly Stevens who caught and turned and fired all in one.
Celebrating women in sports today, are we, with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Thinking to how well the women's athletes are doing in the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo. In fact, Molly Stevens, she thinks back and reflects fondly on her travels that have taken her twice to Tokyo to show off the game of lacrosse. Ground ball, Peros, give her 2 points. Emily Peros, a ground ball machine, zips her way inside the 8-meter key and then settles it for Kayla Treanor. 2.5 to go in the third. Team Arsenault leading this third quarter 3-1. The difference, the 2-point goal from Shayna Pareka. Kayla Treanor gets underneath, slips and scores! A sneaky delivery from 21 Orange.
As we take another look at this goal, Kayla Treanor, she's so very crafty with her stick. We see her movement. She's faking behind the back, faking up and around. That was great defensive positioning. Defensive player was all over her body. Meg Dowdy right there. But ultimately, she's able to drive her arms out and away from her body. We always say eyes of your stick, if you get them free, are able to shoot. And right here, so we see her get her head of her stick away from her body. That creates extra ability to snap her wrist around that defensive player. That was good defense. Really good defense.
That's amazing. I mean, that's just extraordinary hands, and you're doing it against two other U.S. national team members. Brilliant work from Kayla Treanor. Fans, listen up. Not sure if you've heard about it, but you can join us in person at Maureen Hendricks Field. You can get an exclusive NFT. When you're here, it's a free Athletes Unlimited digital collectible. All you have to do is be here in person like these folks, and you can scan the QR code. We'll roll out a new limited edition NFT each fan game this season, so you can collect all 5. Today's NFT honoring women in sports. It's a highlight of all the firsts that have taken place during the opening weekend. We are 5-5 now, Courtney. Take us through, document the most recent 2-point tally in Athletes Unlimited.
Shayna Pareka for Team Arsenault. She did a great job of working together with her teammate. As we take another look right here, Marie McCool gives a nice little flip coming off of the heels of her teammate. That freed her up a little bit, in addition to on the run, catching that defense and the goalkeeper off guard. A quick release catches anyone out of position. And look at this right here. A nice celebration. Two sisters coming together despite being on opposite teams. Love that.
That's when I want to see the back handspring round off. I want to see all the gymnastics in celebration.
And they can still do it.
Oh yeah, Shayna and Sydney, each with goals on the score sheet. It was Sydney that started it for Team Treanor. Shayna bagged the 2 that gave him a 2-point lead, and we are 3-2 now in the quarter, battling for 40 points. The next 2 minutes and 18 seconds are huge with respect to the leaderboard totals. Ground ball Cummings. Every play matters, every quarter matters in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Earlier today, 8-7 for Team Wood in overtime. Kenzie Kent provided the fireworks in the first ever OT thriller in this league. Tomorrow, Team Treanor squares off with Team Warden. That'll be played at 1:30. Team Arsenault against Team Wood at 11:30. Mark that down. 11:30 a.m. We're on the air a little earlier. Off the sneak, Cummings scores! Cummings bulldozing to the cage.
Taylor Cummings for Team Treanor, working a 2-man game around the crease. U.S. teammates right here. We see Kelly McPartland setting up Taylor Cummings in that little movement around the crease. Miscues defensively. We saw number 17, Molly Stevens. Both defensive players weren't quite sure which way to go. When you have a lane, when you see defensive teammates step one particular direction, not ready to play that quick little hesitation. It was like she was going right side behind the goal cage, and she decided to turn the corner once she saw McCone out of position. Very smart on her part, no slides within sight. Attacking from all different areas. Usually she's a top dodger, but she's deadly anywhere around that goal circle.
3 unanswered goals for Team Treanor. Stevens, Treanor, and Cummings back to back to back. And now the third quarter is deadlocked at 3 apiece. 90 seconds left. There's already 40 points on the line for each team per player to win this third quarter. If it's tied again, the fourth quarter becomes blockbuster. Ohlmiller for Arsenault as they go through the weave. Arsenault with a great speed, she scores. She gets a step. She's not going to be turned away.
A little bit of soft defense right there. The entire game, they've been physical, they've been tough, they've been holding out the opposing offense. But right here, we see Dempsey Arsenault just outpowering. That's a bull dodge. That's taking it to her strong side. She didn't have to put on any shifty moves. It was simply running with speed. When you know you can outmuscle the opponent, it's exactly what she did. However, to get that shot off as she was running out of real estate, we see her bring the stick all the way to the weak side of her body, enabling her to have a little bit of a better angle. Putting another goal on board for Team Arsenault and tying things up at 6s.
She's so smooth, she's so fluid. You could have fooled me that she tore her ACL her senior year in high school. You don't see any after effects of that in her game. Lined up at the draw circle, the ball scraped away, it belongs to Cummings. She gets the draw control, but then she turned it over. Arsenault finds Sammy Jo Tracy, then McCone driving in. Great passing, behind the back, Ohlmiller! Fabulous combination work at the top of the circle.
That's the Kylie Ohlmiller that we saw so often her playing days at Stony Brook. From this draw, obviously Team Treanor won it, but a little bit of a miscue right here. So quick pickup by Dempsey Arsenault, pushing the fast break. We haven't seen many of them. But McCone's so smart, waiting until she could feed Kylie Ohlmiller. Definitely want to make sure she's in a better position to shoot. Right in front of that goal cage, falling, making it look so easy. But in actuality, that's where defense was less likely picturing that shot coming from. I love her celebration, throwing the stick. She was prepared and ready. Another look at this right here, that little fake in front, and then a behind the back shot. All these fakes freeze those goalkeepers. However, I do think
challenging
that—
on the crease violation of the last goal. So we're challenging on the crease violation on the last goal coming from the orange captain.
So you hear that from the officials. Lynn Bowers is the head official in this game. Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie. The table official is Patty Kletcher-Porter. She'll have the final say. The question is to whether or not Kylie Ohlmiller was on that goal circle. We can review along with you. It would negate a brilliant tally. Ohlmiller showing that she has eyes in the back of her head. Is she in the circle? Not yet by my view. Still not yet. That's all good by me, unless you tell me that foot dragged the line on the last way down.
Joe, I think this 100% is a goal. I think this angle will give us a better look. She's skirting. But look at that, so very smart. It's like a wide receiver, right?
That's ridiculous the way she navigates the circle. She tiptoed it on purpose, then goes over and behind her back to score. That's on every highlight reel tonight.
Okay, good. This is good. She's out.
She's out. She's out. She's still out. She's out.
Yeah, that view showed her.
Everything remains. After review, she received it.
Do that one again. Do that one again one more time. She's out. She's out.
She's out. Shot is released. Her feet have remained out. So after review, the goal stands.
We agree. We agree 100%.
Yeah.
Ohlmiller, fantastic to make it 7-6 for Arsenault. And now in the quarter, which is worth 40 points.
She's out. So after further review, the goal remains.
Joe, that's huge for Team
After
Arsenault.
further review of the play, the goal remains. Is still a goal. She remained outside of the goal circle when the shot was, when she caught it and when she shot it.
Team Arsenault has a 5-3 lead in this quarter. And should be banking 40 points pretty soon as they are pumped up as they hear the officials ruling. Hugs all around for Kylie Ohlmiller.
Again, I can't talk about how difficult this is. We see her tiptoeing around the crease, but this is all in fast speed. From the draw control, running full speed, tiptoeing the crease, throwing a fake before throwing that behind the back shot. That's placement, but that's where she lives. She loves the left side of the field as a natural lefty. So very slick with her stick.
Taking a page from Emily Peros yesterday, who went behind the back almost blindfolded. Ohlmiller, her 10th of the season after the 5-goal performance last night, as she has tallied twice today, both of them coming in the second half. You see the quarter points at the top, 5-3 for Arsenault. If it stays in their favor, they'll get 40 because the second quarter was tied. There's a carryover to quarter 3. Off the ground, Meg Dowdy comes up with the scoop. Waters will make a break for it away from Stevens. A sloppy clearing effort with 35 seconds left. Off the ground, Wakefield overruns it. Perros has it, unsettled for Cummings. She was bumped by McCone. Dowdy swats it out of the air, now she wants to run. Meg Dowdy from defense to offense. McCone traps it off the ground ball. Settle it to Ohlmiller. Zip it across. Score! Beautiful quick stick from Meg Dowdy. Wow, is Team Arsenault showing off in the last minute of this quarter.
Meg Dowdy, a captain last week. An amazing defensive player. There was a lot of fatigue. We saw a lot of turnovers happening. However, Meg Dowdy, number 29 in blue, she had a little more energy in her tank, pushing this fast break. One more little play, hitting it down low, and she was screaming for this ball. A quick stick goal for defensive player Meg Dowdy. Just the 4th defender to put it on cage. And that takes talent. She's working on her shooting skills as well.
3 goals in under a minute, and that one is spectacular too. Racing to a thrilling conclusion in this third quarter. Now an 8-6 lead for Arsenault. It evens their largest lead on the day. They had the 2-point cushion when Shayna Pareka tallied for 2. It's now a 2-point game after this explosion in the last 60 seconds. Now Team Treanor. Kayla says, all right, I'm going to get it done myself on the draw as she works against McCool. There's a push. Going to award possession to the team dressed in orange as time expires in the third quarter. Team Arsenault banks 40 points with a carryover from quarter 2 to carry 3. They win the third quarter 5-3. They lead the game 8-6, and they can't get enough. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. We're about 30 miles north of the Washington Monument here at Maureen Hendricks Field at Maryland Soccerplex. Enjoying Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Slice it up by quarters for you. Huge in the third for Team Arsenault. So they picked up 40 points in the third quarter. Everybody on their roster due to the carryover. It's an 8-6 advantage with 8 minutes to go in regulation.
Let's go! Quarter points
Treanor,
carrying over.
They won the first.
Tremendous job by Team Arsenault. Really battling it out. It was those final few minutes causing turnovers on the defensive end, moving the ball quickly, and fast breaks, which we haven't seen much of on the day, is where they were able to capitalize.
There's only one champion in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, and she will hail atop of the Geico leaderboard. As for right now, Kayla Wood has the lead over Dempsey Arsenault. Kylie Ohlmiller has climbed up to number 6 overall. Kylie wearing a microphone, perhaps you can tell, at the front of her jersey. Let's go into the game with 71.
All right, it's all right. Hey, let's have a day, Blue. Let's have some fun. Yeah. Beautiful day.
I'll grind them.
We got fans in the stands. See the little things, right? Switch, switch, switch! Hey, hey! Oh. Jesus. Exactly. And hey, if they're marking me hard, which they're marking me pretty hard, meaning like instead of banging it through X, I'm going to bring her to you, just like we did in that first play that I missed the shot, and I'll roll off of it. You're gonna get that.
Yeah, you guys, we're a second half team. We showed that last night, right? Like, it's all out of our system. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun on this end here. Let's put the ball in the back of the net for our defense, who is just absolutely crushing it right now.
Lindsay!
That's just insane work from Kylie Ohlmiller and a great reaction from Sammy Joe Tracy. As we summarize through the first 24 minutes of this game, on the heels of an 8-7 overtime win for Team Wood in the first game of 2 today in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Treanor going to goal. Treanor right on in. Forget about it. Kayla Treanor point blank.
Listen, we saw the tight loss last night by Team Treanor. It was a 1-goal loss. After that game, Katrina Dowd, Britt Reed, Kayla Treanor, Becca Block all put their minds together. What do we need to do to come out on top? And Kayla Treanor certainly putting her team on this back. Grabbing that draw control. We see her leaning in with her body, outpowering Meg Dowdy on that offensive play. Reaching on the draw circle, gaining control of the ball, and right here, leaning, pulling, switching hands. I love how she's willing to put that ball and her stick in her left hand. That's her weak hand. Her weak hand, and she actually feels just as comfortable due to all of the hours that she has put in. That nice little slip, as soon as she got underneath of that defender, all was said and done.
A dynamic finisher, Kayla Treanor, part of the player executive committee. Athletes in this league are leaders and decision makers. Celebrating women in sports today with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Just past the bottom of the hour, Joe and Courtney with you. It is an 8-7 game. It has been just a sequence of close games in the last, I would say, 5 or 6 that have gone final. Most, if not all, decided by 2 points or less. McCool will isolate against Paros. Emily pushes her outside the 8-meter key. On the flip, score! Another snapshot 2-pointer from deep. Compliments of Shayna Pareka.
Shayna Pareka does such a great job of catching the defense as well as a goalkeeper off guard. She has such a quick release. We see Marie McCool again, the little flip pass play, a little sweeping movement on the run. She makes this look so easy. As soon as she gets her arms up and away, again, no defense making contact. She gets a nice, quick release off of that moving screen. Love how the defensive team is giving her space. She's going to continue to take outside shots. That's her second 2-point of the game.
Shayna Pareka getting comfortable behind that 8-meter key and making this a 10-7 score. To the draw circle. Cummings scraping that ball loose, then getting pushed. So the possession will be with Taylor and Team Treanor. 3-point game, 7 minutes and change to go in the fourth. Sydney Pareka working against her sister for the first time. Both of the sisters have struck, but it's Shayna who's having the last laugh with a couple of 2-pointers. Cummings on the sneak, turns the corner, bounced it wide of Waters. Closest to the ball, wearing when it leaves the playing field on that shot. It belongs to Treanor in the orange jersey as you see them set up in front of Waters, who's barking to her defenders.
Little 2-man action behind the goal cage. They're trying to get the defense mixed up, change the matchup.
Katrina Dowd on the shovel shot that goes wide. We've seen MC Byrne enter the game. Mary Claire Byrne wearing 60 in the powder blue out of Virginia Tech. She made her debut to Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse last night. Kira Pelton able to clear. The roster size is 14 per team. We play 10 against 10, 6-on-6 at the offensive end. There are likely to be new captains as of Monday night. They'll draft new teams, a draft you can see on Facebook Live. Ohlmiller with Arsenault and McCool. Pretty high-scoring trio right there. Marie McCool, split dodge to the alley. Block runs her to the ditch. 20 seconds to shoot. McCool, fade away. She scores. Courtney, we are seeing an offensive display all of a sudden.
Marie McCool using her athleticism, her speed. She is so fluid with the ball. She just glides out on the field. Again, attacking from a different area. We saw that little push by the defensive player, but she's able to maintain control.
Courtney, our Geico defensive plays of the game brought to you by Kaylee Waters.
Kaylee Waters she does an outstanding job. She sees the ball from a distance. She's always set and ready. Point blank, she holds her line. And then I love how she almost baits the attackers every time. Drops low, making him want to put it high, right exactly where her stick is.
Quite a highlight reel for Kaylee Waters today. 5 saves. She gets 6 points for each of those. And her cohort in crime is wearing a mic for us. That's Britt Brown on the sideline for Team Arsenault. Britt, what would you say about Kaylee's performance today?
Oh, it's awesome. It's amazing. Did anyone see that awesome hold where she had patience on Katrina Dowd coming around the crease? She held, she punched her hands. It was an awesome save. Highlight reel. Should be Sports Center top 10 in my opinion.
Britt, when you talk about the two of you on the same team, how do you feed off of one another?
Oh, we feed off of each other's energies. We tell each other all day long it's all about vibes. And so we keep the positive vibes going. We talk to each other about the defense. We talk to each other about what we see. And we just keep it going from there. Yeah! Oh, great save. That was a great save by Britt Reed.
See, Britta, I knew you'd be a color analyst for us. I knew you'd be a really good action analyst. We thank you for your time.
Of course.
Becca blocked the other way. Fast breaking, looking for Dowd. That was a tough catch. 5 minutes to go in this game. It's a 4-point game in favor of Team Arsenault. 11 points on the board for the team in blue, and Courtney, 9 of them have come in the second half.
They're starting to feel their offensive groove. Once that happens, you want to make sure you keep replicating those instances. They've had tough defense the entire game, while not relaxing on the defensive end at all.
Scrambling for it, Hench kept it alive. Treanor gets away from the pack with a new shot clock. Treanor right down the lane, she scores. Kayla Treanor's game has awakened. She has the hat trick.
Kayla Treanor handling the pressure, and by pressure, I mean a lot of physical contact right here. As soon as she was able to come up with this ground ball, look at this. Reaches, stick checks across the body. However, she has her body between her stick and that defender, shielding it. That way she's able to free up those hands. Very tough, under pressure. Look at this, smack, defensively. Dempsey Arsenault, relentless, not letting her get away from her. But Kayla Treanor said not today.
Fired up is the captain. 14 goals in just 5 games of work. That'll do nicely. Each goal gets you 12 points in Athletes Unlimited. What matters most, though, is winning with your mates, winning the quarters, winning the overall game. Right now, it's a 3-2 score in the 4th quarter, 11-8 overall. This is bounced wide of Waters, backed up by Stevens. Still plenty of time with which to work. 4 minutes to go. The officials changing their minds and giving possession to Dempsey Arsenault's squad. Wakefield finds Pelton, and Kira stretching her legs to the offensive end. Sammy Jo Tracy is there. Sammy Jo is shooting 4 days a week with her dad to get ready for this season.
You can do that when you have an All-American dad as a father.
Daughter of Dan and Cheryl. Ohlmiller's pass crossed up. Sammy Jo there, and Britt Reed says thanks. Reed lobbing the outlet pass to start it back. Peros looking to run. Peros has the 4-on-3 break. Peros on the feed. Stevens is next. Snapshot goes wide. Treanor right there to restart it in the blink of an eye. Just over 3 minutes to go in regulation time. The earlier game today went to OT. A sudden victory provided by Kenzie Kent and Team Wood. Treanor outside the 8-meter key. Step for step there with her, it's Wakefield. Bump by Peros. Treanor swivels away. Wakefield is slow to get back up. Sydney Barreca with a rocket that's stuffed by Kaylee Waters. She vacuumed that up like it was nothing.
There's a timeout on the field.
2:41 left in the 4th. Waters talking things over with Wakefield, who needs a bit of a breather.
Caroline Wakefield, such a tough defensive player. And that little pick right here, she got knocked to the ground. Ultimately, Kaylee Waters coming up with a huge save from an outside shot that was almost a two-pointer. Again, Kaylee Waters with the quick hands. Not surprised at all that she is one of the go-to goalkeepers for Team USA.
Waters drafted number 8 overall in week 1, drafted number 15 overall this past week, and joining Team Arsenault. We'll have a new draft for you on Monday night. Folks, you can head to auprosports.com, get your Athletes Unlimited gear. Don't forget to follow on social at AU Pro Sports for exclusive inside content. Fans checking their phones. Maybe they're on the Athletes Unlimited app right now. 11-8 for Team Arsenault. As we show you the overall leaderboard, 1 through 15. And Marie McCool, with all the great work she's done, she's at the bottom of that list.
You know, one thing that you have to remember, it's not just your individual stat points that are positive, but if you have a turnover, you're taking shots that are saved by the goalkeeper. All of these little things add up. Obviously, your team needs to come up with a win in each of those quarters in the overall game, and those really bump you up as well.
Team Wood and Team Warden done for the day. As far as these two teams are concerned, here's how they're reacting on the leaderboard.
Dempsey Arsenault leading her team right now with 634 points. The game, if it continues to shape up as so, they're going to gain a 45-point win. That's going to be a huge bump for both she, Ohlmiller, and Waters.
Kayla Treanor attempting to lift her team back into this game. Here are the last 2 of her 3 on the day.
Kayla Treanor with its incredible reach across the line, extending to get that ball. And then once she got under that defensive player, she knew she had her taken for that quick split dodge.
Only took 7 seconds from the draw.
She works quickly. And right here, she notices a matchup difference. Reaching, as soon as that defensive player is cutting across that body, checking, fouling, she knows that she has you beat, so she just powered through it. She's incredibly strong with her dodging movements.
Now she's extending the ride on Waters, trying to force the turnover. With 2.5 to go, Team Treanor in orange needs the ball. McCone takes a knee, and she'll bring it across midfield. 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Right now it's at 35 with 2:17 to go in the game. Try to manage your possessions now. Late in regulation, Ohlmiller's in no hurry.
Absolutely, manage the clock, manage the game. You're in possession, you're in control of what's happening on the field.
McCool glancing at the shot clock, down to 12. Marie McCool picked up by Cummings. Arsenault against block. Off the roll dodge, shot stopped by Reed. She had to have that one, and she did. Britt Reed making the save, earning 6 points for herself. Back comes Peros in transition. 45 game-winning points on the line. 11-8 with 90 seconds to go. Team Treanor in orange down by 3. They'll give you 2 points if you score from beyond the 8-meter key. Cummings does a lot of her damage a lot closer to the goal. She works the circle, turns the corner. Nice stick check there late by Arsenault. And she comes away with a ball. Huge possession now for the team in blue. Sammy Jo Tracy should run for cover. 3-point lead, 50 seconds on the shot clock. Just less than that in the game. Sammy Jo going to the cage, however. Everybody palms up looking for the call.
So I think we go.
You're hearing the official conversation
on the release and going in. Okay. So that's what my interpretation is that it was being blown on the release as it was going in. So that would be
it released on the released. It released on my whistle. She was releasing it, and it ended in the goal cage.
Then it should be goal. I agree. Okay. So
they're going to count it.
We had a foul on the release, and what happens is on the release, because it was fouled on the release and then it ended up in the goal, in the goal. That's why we counted a goal.
I love how the referees are talking through these different points. I think that's absolutely the right call. As the foul was being made, the ball was already starting to come out of Sammy Jo's stick. As long as it's being released, just like they had mentioned, they had called that foul, that swinging stick check to the face. However, the ball was already out of her stick, resulting in another goal for Team Arsenault. Taking another look right here.
You see the aftermath of that bounce winding up in the back of the cage. I paused once I heard the whistle there on that foul. The continuation goes to the cage and it counts. Arsenault arms up. Sammy Jo likewise. And it's 12-8. It should be 12-8 after the review. If it stands right now, the fourth quarter is 4-2 in favor of Arsenault. So they're trying to win 20 points in the fourth and 45 for the game.
Keep going.
Whistle went now.
I feel like the whistle went with it's just because it trickled in. Let's watch it again.
Yeah.
So she's coming across.
Going
to the cage, however.
She's going.
She's
going to the cage, however.
The ball was. Let's make sure we can see if the ball was out of her.
Is there a replay?
The review is whether or not the ball is out of the cross here, which it was, but where was the whistle with respect to it? The momentum winds up in the back of the goal.
Joe, if we think about this, the referee called the foul from that swing. The ball came out due to the swing, so the whistle would have blown after that fact. So hence the ball's out of her stick. The goal should still stand.
Hear it again.
I love how they're making sure, checking it from all angles, making sure the right call on the field.
All of this in the final minute of regulation.
The timing of it is.
It should be 12-8 after the review.
The timing of it is.
Officials today: Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie, and Patty Kletcher-Porter. Patty is the table official for this game, reviewing that potential goal for Sammy Jo Tracy. If it stands, it makes Team Arsenault in blue a 4-point leader.
Ball was released.
We need that volume again.
Yeah, to hear the whistle.
Yeah, we need
to hear the whistle.
Because it seems like the whistle went off. Okay, here we go.
See, what matters is the official's whistle here on this play. It's all about the whistle that they need to hear.
I feel like the whistle came after the release. So therefore, it's a goal.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You hear the deliberation, and this will count.
After further review, the goal will stand. The whistle came after the release, and therefore the continuation of the goal remains. So it will be a goal for goal. Blue. Sorry.
Thank you so much. We appreciate the clarification. Sammy Jo Tracy can now celebrate it. And let's see if we can hear where the whistle interacts on this play. Ball's out, whistle comes, it counts. And that's what the officials wanted to be sure of.
Absolutely, definitely out of her stick. And then the whistle sounded. Great job by our referees, looking at it from all angles.
Excellent work by our technical crew as well. We thank them for all their efforts, many of which will be back on the job again bright and early tomorrow. We have early games for you. Team Treanor squares off with Team Warden. That's in the 1:30 game tomorrow. You'll see Wood and Arsenault in the morning time, starting with game 11 of 30 this season. Off the jump ball and the draw control, it's Cummings right to the cage. Kick save by Waters was outstanding. After the draw control was earned by Cummings. She's so good at winning that to herself. Off that scrape, she just pops it in the air. Dowd slicing to the cage, going to the goal, ran out of real estate. Treanor on the pump fake, thinking 2. That bouncer fought off by Waters. And now, Team Arsenault, should they come up with a ground ball, should be able to run out the remaining time. They'll have possession and time ticking down the stretch. Arsenault, a winner last night. Dempsey provided the game-winning goal. Today, they are going to put down Team Treanor by the final score of 12-8. Winning the fourth quarter as well by a 4-2 margin. So 20 points, then 45 more on top of that. Everybody in blue with 65 points at the end result of quarter 4.
Love the work of both teams, playing till the very last whistle. We see battles off of every draw control, every possession. What began as a defensive stalwart ended up being a goal-scoring game. Ultimately 8-12 after the first half. It was just 3-2.
Kayla Treanor disappointed again for the second day in a row. Her team falling short, this time bested by Dempsey Arsenault's squad by the final of 12-8. Kylie Ohlmiller again doing the trick as the celebration continues. Ohlmiller with fabulous work, highlight reel stuff on a number of occasions, and all to benefit Team Arsenault, this team that she drafted back on Monday. And Courtney, it's one that is clicking quite nicely.
They've done a great job. Like she said, she talked with her former team captain, Kylie Ohlmiller, on what to do when selecting a team, and I think she's gotten some great advice.
As they work through the handshake line, a game that featured some long distance goals from Shayna Parekha. She had a pair of 2-point tallies.
Both look so very similar. Coming off of that screen, a little flip pass, the quick release. These are almost mirroring images of one another. Again, catching that goalkeeper.
Shayna, I must admit that your sister said you would be sort of a secret weapon from 2. On media day, she said this, and here she is being prophetic, only it hurt against her squad. What are your thoughts?
Sydney's the best. It's weird not being with her, playing with her today. She had a sick 2-point shot as well. They didn't count it, but it means a lot hearing her say that. Just supporting each other, I think that's something we've always done, so that means a lot coming from her.
Shayna, after your first 2-point goal, we saw that hug between you and your sister. Did you guys have any words?
Yeah, we just said good job. I told her as well. I think even though we're not playing on the same team, it's still really important to support each other. I mean, she had a sick shot, as I said before. I made sure to cheer her on. So I think it's more natural for us to cheer each other on than, play against each other. So.
Shayna, overall for your team, it was an offensive explosion in the second half. What happened?
I think things were just really clicking. We were sharing the ball. We were creating space for one another. I mean, we had our defenders pushing in transition. Meg Dowdy had a sick goal in transition. But I think we were really just playing as a team and connecting as a unit.
Shayna, we appreciate your thoughts. Thanks so much. Nice job in the win.
Thank you so much.
Shayna Parekha and her team, Team Arsenault, with the advantage today over Team Treanor as we check out some handiwork from Dempsey Arsenault.
Dempsey Arsenault with some great fancy footwork, nice little stutters, jab in there before she took it to the left side. I love her versatility on the offensive end of the field. Now we see her with a right alley dodge. Not a lot of angle on that, but when you pull that stick across your face, that helps in your finishing capabilities.
Dempsey Arsenault celebrating with her mates. And Dempsey, the first half wasn't anything to write home offensively about for your team. What clicked in the second half specifically?
We got a ton of more movement up top and we started working together, and I really think that was a big momentum shift and it just started to click.
Talk about the defensive work. We see you all over the field, not just scoring goals, but obviously having tough matchups on the defensive end. Is that something you guys talked about prior to the game or in-game adjustments?
A little bit of both. I think our defenders are so good that they can mark up on everyone. So I think we all just trust each other, and if you get a mismatch, we're all just talking to each other, really pumping each other up, and we're there for each other.
Hey, Dempsey, you realize you're 5-0 now in Athletes Unlimited. This is pretty easy, isn't it?
Don't jinx me.
I'm not jinxing you.
We have one more. We have one more.
I have nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. It's all on you. You're going for the sweep tomorrow against Team Wood. What have you seen from them?
They have a lot of team chemistry, so I think we got to lock in on D and then just do our game, win the draws, work together, and I think we'll be good.
How dare you call me a jinx, Dempsey? Nice job. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Team Arsenault, the winner today. Dempsey's all smiles for good reason. As she and her mates bank another victory, we settle in on the Geico leaderboard up to the minute, minus the MVP points that'll be doled out for this game. But Dempsey Arsenault now has taken the lead, and see how things have changed for the team wearing the blue jerseys. Winning means so much.
Winning means a lot, obviously. Team Wood, they have done a great job of also coming out with a lot of top wins. However, the more goals you put in, the more points you're going to receive. Also, those individual statistical categories, in addition to quarter points. Obviously, both teams, 45 points in their wins, but those 20 points each quarter add up.
Kaylee Waters was stout between the pipes. All of a sudden, she's third best. As Caroline Wakefield is making friends on the sideline. Arsenault, a winner today, turning things around lively in the second half. And they did it with an explosive third quarter. They put 6 points up individually. And all of a sudden now we're seeing teams get more and more comfortable with a 2-point shot. We saw a pair of those from Shayna Pareka.
Setting your teammate up is oh so very important. I think those moving little flip passes coming off of one another's heels creates opportunities for you. Attack the goal cage, any opportunity that you get. But quick releases, you're absolutely gonna get any goalkeeper off of their mark. They're expecting things to be in tight, passes inside, and certainly the goalkeepers had a difficult time seeing things off of a screen.
MC Byrne, Dempsey Arsenault, you see them with the tablets in hand. They're voting on MVPs. The players vote. There's a percentage of their vote that matters, and obviously the MVP that's #1 overall gets 45 more, 30 if you're voted second in the MVP voting, 15 if you're voting for the third place overall MVP. Tomorrow, an early day, we're back over on Fox Sports to get things going in the initial game. That will be Team Arsenault against Team Wood. Arsenault huge today, especially in quarter 3, rolling to victory over Kayla Treanor's side. Despite the best efforts of Taylor Cummings, it would be the gals in blue getting the win. Wakefield going coast to coast for her tally today. We love it when the defenders score. Once again, your final, Team Arsenault 12, Team Treanor 8. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for watching. Old Miller does it again. Arsenault victorious.